Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my personal space where I sit and I talk about things that matter. On today's episode, we are back into our learning and unlearning things in our lives, and today we're gonna be talking about the concept of self-acceptance and loving ourselves as we are. And I think a lot of us have the knowledge that we are worthy just as we are, but we don't truly believe it because we spend our lives trying to be different, trying to be better, trying to be richer, everything that we possibly can to make us believe that we are worthy, to wrap around our heads why we are worthy, and we need to find reasons or find things that give us that worth. But what if I told you that that is not the case at all? You do have an inherent worth just as you are as a person. We tend to compare ourselves, and when we fall short from this comparison, we feel like we're inadequate and we're not worthy or something. But you don't really need to change to be worthy. All you need to do is to recognize your inherent worth and embrace your strengths and weaknesses. But the concept of self-awareness doesn't mean that we stop growing or we no longer have goals or ambition. It just means that we accept ourselves where we are and how we are at the moment. It means that we have adopted a compassionate and an understanding attitude towards our feelings and ourselves. We don't judge ourselves for being where we are or how we are feeling or how things are with our lives at the moment. And we work hard towards our goals, but we also understand that our worth is not dependent on all of these accomplishments. I have to say, if I sound funny today, please understand that I'm not feeling my best. I have hay fever and I've been struggling for quite some time now, and I feel like even my voice is not projecting as well as I wish it can. But this is where we are and this is what we're working with at the moment. But I am doing well. I'm not really like seriously ill or anything like that. It's just hay fever. So before I actually get into the gist of the video, it's so weird. Oh, I feel like for me, I always see things as signs. So when I was preparing for this video, and I actually even hadn't done any research on the topic or anything like that, I was just taking my own notes and writing about things that I thought resonated with the concept of self-awareness and self-acceptance. And I'm scrolling through my Pinterest and I come across a quote that I'm gonna read for you. And on the same day, I'm on Instagram and I find a quote that actually said something similar. I was like, what are the chances that I'm gonna see quotes like this at the same time? I mean, at the same day when I'm just out of randomly. So I'm gonna read those quotes for you right at this moment. The first one from Pinterest, it said, being. Today I trust that being is enough rather than making myself crazy and tired trying to figure out the answer or see the picture or work out how it will all work out. I choose instead to focus my energy on staying present, enjoying each moment as it presents itself. I open my eyes to life as it is right now. I know the gift of clarity will come when the time is right. Now, for the one that I saw on Instagram, the Instagram quote goes, give yourself permission to be enough as you are. You do not need to be fixed. Do more or prove your worth to anyone. Allow yourself to exist in this space you are in. You worked hard to be here. So basically, both of these quotes are saying be present in the moment and be who you are. Understand that you have worth as you are. You are enough as you are. Like I said, it doesn't mean that you give up on your goals, but it means that you accept yourself and love yourself as you are. So how do we get to this mind shift? of self-acceptance. There are actually studies that have shown that people who practice self-acceptance deal better with life stresses, have higher levels of resilience, and they also have a high level of self-esteem and generally have life satisfaction. They are also more likely to deal effectively with day-to-day life stresses and setbacks, and they have been proven that they have a lesser chance of struggling with mental health issues like depression and anxiety. And before I actually continue with the video, I'd just like to say that I do understand that it's not always because people don't accept themselves or accept their lives that they get to have problems with depression or anxiety. But sometimes, because we do understand that depression and anxiety are caused by different things for different people, so I do understand that it's not always the case of not self-acceptance that may lead to depression, anxiety. But there are studies that I will link below, probably for people that deal with seasonal depression. I will link those studies down below. I think it really is a good read. Not everybody suffers from depression that is continuous. Sometimes it really is seasonal, and depending on the reasons, things like self-acceptance can have a positive impact on your mental health. So I just wanted to put it out there, so I'm not downplaying any mental issue for anybody. I could never do that. I do understand that people suffer from depression, anxiety more and more these days, and for so many different reasons. So I'm not downplaying it to something that can easily be solved by self-acceptance. So how do you cultivate this mindset shift that can help you cultivate self-acceptance and self-awareness? I do have a few suggestions for you that I'm going to be talking about, and we're going to diving into a little bit deeper on these ways that you can help yourself have this mindset shift of self-acceptance. Firstly, practice mindfulness. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the practice of being non-judgmental in the moment. When we are mindful, we observe our thoughts and emotion without having a judgmental attitude towards them. Instead, we are more compassionate, and we tend to be more understanding towards our emotions rather than having a judgmental or critical attitude towards yourself. The same way when people have certain emotions, whether it's anger or they are hurt or whatever it is, sometimes you tend to understand why they would feel like that. You don't judge them. So that is the same way that you would do that to yourself. Be a little less judgmental, but observe your feelings and try to understand them instead. Secondly, I'd say focus on the things that you can control. There are so many things in life that you cannot control, and spending your time worrying about them is not going to help you with anything. By focusing on the things that you can control, you feel more empowered and you feel like you are more capable of taking decisions or making decisions for your life and making positive changes towards your life, rather than worrying about things that are beyond your control, and then it makes you feel less capable. So rather use your energy and focus it on things that you can control. Thirdly, I'd say surround yourself with positive influences. Stay away from negative influences, whether it is people in your life or external factors like social media, news outlets, or critical or unsupportive people that do not support or are critical of your goals. Let me tell you a little story about why I stopped watching the news. I've got so many reasons now that I'm older that I stopped watching the news. I think I'll make a video out of it as well, because I feel like um yeah, there's so much. But when I stopped watching the news, I grew up in a home where news time was news time. We didn't play around with news time. My dad and my mother, especially my father, wanted to know what was going on in the world and of the current events and all of those things. So when I got older, I adopted that thing. Every time when I was getting ready for work, I'd be watching the news, but what was so overwhelming for me was that there was such negativity on the news. There'd be like 90% of negative things and only like 10% of good things, and most of the time it'd be like entertainment. It wouldn't be good old news that are happening in the same communities where they report of horrific things. They wouldn't report of the good things that were happening. And I do understand that sometimes it is important to tell people what is going on out there, but for me it was a little bit too overwhelming. It was a lot. There was one particular story that had me in tears. I think that was the last straw for me. I was like, I'm not gonna watch news again. And I actually haven't watched news in a long time because of that. Actually, it's been years since I stopped watching the news. I will now and again watch news if there's a story that I'm interested in and I'm following the story, but I don't really watch the news. And I'd actually, now that we've got YouTube and stuff like that, I don't really need to watch the whole news segment. I can literally search for the certain story that I actually want to watch and then I'll watch it. But watching the news regularly like I used to, I don't do that anymore because of how negatively it affected me. So I don't expect for everybody to stop watching the news, but if you do realize that it's affecting you like that, please just, or don't watch it as regularly, because I understand that wanting to know, but don't watch it as regularly as you probably do. So now back to actually what I'm talking about. So try to minimize those negative or toxic things around you. Try to focus on the more positive things of life. And the fourth thing for me would be practice self-care. Do not underestimate the power of self-care. When you take care of yourself, you feel so much better about so many things in your life. The little thing that you do for yourself can have a big impact on how you are feeling generally. Take care of yourself spiritually, emotionally, and physically. That can have a big, profound change in your life. This could include working out, getting enough sleep, eating well, and generally just taking care of yourself. And if you need to get emotional support, do seek that, whether it's from a friend or if you feel like you need a more professional help, then get yourself a counselor or a therapist. So do not underestimate the power of self-care. It can really make a difference in how you view yourself and how you ultimately have this love and acceptance of yourself. Lastly, for me, it is to cultivate gratitude. Gratitude changes your life. I cannot express how much gratitude changes your life, because when you are grateful, you focus on all the great things that you have in your life, and you focus less on the things that you lack and you wish you had. Then it makes your life so much more worth living when you've got things to be grateful for. Do not underestimate the power of gratitude. It really will change your life. And when you are grateful, you feel content and satisfied with your life, with less external factors that are markers of success, because you already have things in your life that you are grateful for. You don't need to have outside factors being the benchmark of your success or what you accept and love about yourself. In summary of this video, I'd just like to say that it is okay for us to feel like we need to improve our lives all the time. I think it's a natural human thing to want progression and growth. So I think you should actually be more worried if you don't want growth or success, if you don't want growth and improvement for your life. But with that being said, it does not mean that you do not accept yourself where you are, or you feel less worthy of being seen important, or doesn't mean that you are not worthy until you reach those successes that you want to see with your life. But as you are, you are enough and you are worthy of everything that you ever dream of and everything that you ever wanted. I don't know if you can tell, but this was a really difficult video, and not because it was difficult to talk about. It's actually right up my alley. It's things that I love to talk about: self-improvement, accepting ourselves, self-love, and general personal development. But it's because I'm not feeling well, and I am a bit congested, so even the way I speak is not normal for me, and it's really difficult. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making it this far to the video. I know it wasn't one of my bestest work that I put out there, but I am glad that I spoke about it because it's something that comes deep from my heart. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, bye. Mwah.